Back to Black is the second and, well, unfortunately, the last record by Winehouse. Amy Winehouse. I didn't know why I wanted to say that, but there we are. But yeah, this is unfortunately her last record because, well, she was on a lot of drugs, so I believe she drank a lot, so there we go. And this record is only 35 minutes long, I believe, and it is requested by someone, but I can't find his name, so sorry. If you know, if you want to leave a comment or something like that, then do that because I do the shout outs like I said on the Frank review. Um, so this is her last album, and this is pretty much a bit of a swan song record because it is pretty dark and it goes about her addiction, rehab, and I'm no good because I'm doing those drugs all the time. Back to Black, all classic songs from this record that basically show the true Amy Winehouse because on Frank she was a bit. Well, she was pretty serious as well, but she was mostly just taking the piss out of the songs. It was still pretty. It was still pretty good, but it was kind of not serious in a way. Well, 50-50 I would say, but also a bit unserious. But it gets really, really dark on Back to Black, like you can expect from the title. Yeah, and the thing is, I was really surprised, because this is a really acclaimed record, but it is only 34 minutes long, which kind of reminds me of the classic, classic records, because classic records from the 50s and 60s were always really short, so it reminds me of that, which is maybe a bit weird, but that's not the only thing that reminds me of classic music, classic soul, classic jazz, stuff like that. This record is actually not jazz, so that is pretty surprising. It is mostly heavy on soul, rhythm and blues, mostly those things, but also contemporary R&B, neo soul. So this record is already a bit of a different approach to music for Amy Winehouse because she was really jazz influenced on her debut record, but really on the blues on this one. So that is really interesting that she goes that route. And just her overall voice really matches the songs. Rehab is the opening song, just Amy Winehouse saying that maybe I should go to rehab, and I'll say no, 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 because she thinks I'm a strong, independent woman, and I can take care of myself. I don't need no rehab. Well, we all know what happened after that, but still, we got this amazing song. The just the no, no, no refrain is great. It's really iconic. The midway section, the chorus, it's really catchy. The bells, I believe, the bells are just great, man. Really melodic stuff right there. Rehab is a classic song. It is the perfect opening song. It isn't the best one of the record, but it's still a really great opening song. So that is, it's basically the perfect opening song. So I love it. Then we get, I believe, I'm no good. And I love this song, man. I believe this is the first song I ever heard by Amy Winehouse on, I believe, video game or something like that, rock band, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. I heard no good, and just this song is incredible, man. The musicianship, it really feels like you're thrown back to the 60s or something like that. It is really, soul bass, it's really heavy on soul. The musicianship is really chill, really laid down. It really feels like you're in a blues band or something like that, in a soul band. Amy's vocals are really haunting, really beautiful on this track. I'm no good. Do, 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 do. And just that midway, that midway refrain. Du, 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 du. Just the trumpet or whatever it is, man. The trumpets sound really fantastic, really great in the mixing. This song is just incredible, man. I love it. It really feels like you're in the 60s or 70s with the song, but it actually really is an 2000s cut. So that is really really strange to see. You know, to have such good modern. Is it pop music? That sounds like this, man. It is a great. It is, yeah. It is my favorite song, man. It is my favorite Amy Winehouse track of all time. I love it, and man, if she would have stayed alive for longer, you know, we would have had more like, you know, I'm no good. This is such a beautiful song, man. I love it. Just an 11 out of 10, man. Even better than Rehab. Love it. Me and Mr. Jones, however, is a classic tune as well, but it kind of reminds me of the Frank record. You know, the third track of this album. It's still pretty good, but it's, yeah, it's. I think Amy Winehouse goes a bit too, you know, back to the day with this song, because it really feels like I'm in the 50s or something like that with this song, which I also really like. I like the 50s, you know, but it is just kind of too outdated for me. Just the lyrics are not cringy per se, but they are a bit outdated in my opinion. So this song isn't the best to follow up the masterpiece that is, you know I'm no good. So still pretty good, but not the best. Then we have another song like Back to Black, the title track, which is just dark, haunting. It is probably her most darkest song that she's ever wrote. Just saying, you know, going back to the grave, something like that, some lyrics like that. It really shows it in the music video as well, where she is, I believe, on a graveyard. And she's saying, I'm going back to black, because she is in a funeral, you know, going in black because you're dead. So it is a pretty, you know, to the point, but still a really dark song. I'm not sure if those, you know, if that is the definition of the song, but I'm pretty sure it means, you know, going black to see someone die, something like that. So it is a really dark song. The instruments are fantastic as well. This is just a classic song by her. Definitely, you know, probably my second favorite song after you know I'm no good, which you just can't beat. Love is a Losing Game is also a really great song. It is 2.5 minutes, so it's pretty short, but it still is really to the point. It's kind of more upbeat, but this song is just really, yeah, it really feels, you know, jazz influenced again, which reminds me of the Frank record again. Great song as well. A bit short, but you know, it's short to the point. It's Amy Winehouse, so you gotta love it. And probably, you know, the last great song on this record is Tears Dry on Their Own, which is a really haunting, beautiful song. It is a bit like Back to Black and You Know I'm No Good Made a Baby or something like that. It's kind of like that. And I'm not sure if people use use that, you know, term that two songs made, you know, a kid together, they would end up like that. I'm not sure if someone ever used that, but I think it's kind of original, so, you know, I'm sticking with it. Yeah, but this song, you know, it's really emotional. The instruments as well are great. Probably your most tear-jerking song, you know, you can kind of read it off the title, but Tears Dry on Their Own is a really emotional song for her. And yeah, I personally think, you know, that Back to Black, Love is a Losing Game and Tears Dry on Their Own are three of the best songs of this record. Which of course, you know, the top two being probably the first two songs. Yeah, you just kind of blow your load off on the beginning, but still, man, the beginning is great. The midway section is still great as well. The ending is a bit weaker. AIDS is probably you know, a bit of the aftermath of her success. Wake Up Alone, which is really great in my opinion. Still is a good song overall, but it is kind of grey. Kind of can't stand on its legs because it doesn't know where to go. So we have a bit of a weaker track on here. Some Unholy War is a bit tacky as well. It is only 2.5 minutes long, but it kind of doesn't go anywhere in the time that it has. So it's kind of an unnecessary song as well. He Can Only Hold Her, the 10th song, is kind of, you know, it's alright, but I wouldn't, you know, call it a great song per se. And Addicted, actually, I believe I haven't even heard the song, but I believe Addicted is a hidden track or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if I've listened to this track, so we're gonna look it up. And maybe we're just gonna listen to this track live, you know? Addicted. No, Addicted is not on my. Well, maybe it's a double track. He Can Only Hold Her. I believe it is double. No, it is not. Well, that's kind of. I haven't listened to Addicted, but you know, I can only say that it is a good song. But I can't comment about it. Damn. Yeah, I mean it's not on my Spotify, so it's kind of messed up. But still, I still really enjoyed the record. Although I've only listened to the first 10 songs, I still think that Addicted is a great song. Although I've never listened to it. It's probably just noise, you know, probably just a bit of a weird outro like Frank had, which was kind of useless in my opinion. Overall, this is definitely your best record. Frank is a bit too inconsistent for me. This is a great record. I love the first side. I think the second side is a bit weaker. If the second side had a song like You Know I'm No Good and Back to Black and Rehab, you know, the catchy Rehab. If the second side had songs like that, I would definitely give this album a 10. But for now, it's still a 9.4, so that's still really a high rating for this record. I really enjoyed it, and I'm not sure who requested this. So, you know, if you requested this record, then let me know in the comments down below. Because, you know, I can't find the name, which I said on the Frank record as well. But you can let me know and listen to this record. It is really great. It's great music. It's not metal, you know. I'm not, you know. Yeah, of course I'm mainly a metalhead, but I listen to, you know, this as well. Amy Winehouse, Michael Jackson, George Michael, Prince. You know, all those classic artists. I listen to that. Great pop music. Yeah, just if the music is great, I'm gonna listen to it. Yeah, so that was the review, guys. Let me know what you think about it. I thought it was pretty good, so let me know what you think about it. Yeah, like I said, I thought it was great. Let me know your opinion in the comments down below, and take care.